said, we have a very special show, and we have very special guests with us today. And I want to first introduce Mr. Russell Blackman. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Mr. Russell Blackman is the head of the Music and Arts Department at People's Cathedral Church. He's also a gospel artist. You have a recent album. It's called One Shepherd Boy.
That's right.
And that's available on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you can stream music.
That's right.
Yeah, we'll hope we get some more insight from you on that one. Also, we have DJ Diamond.
That's right.
Hello, say hi to everybody.
Hey.
Yeah. DJ Diamond is an entrepreneur and a DJ. And where can people find you? Where next are you going to be mixing tracks?
Well, I have some stuff coming up. Tomorrow I'm going to be on a cruise, and then I have an event in nighttime. Honestly, I have my stuff coming up, but I didn't. I can't tell you that. I'll tell you all that because things are so hectic for me. As you said, I'm an entrepreneur as well, so I have a lot going on. But if they want to know about DJ Diamond, they can follow me on social media at DJ Diamond 246. That's on Instagram, and I place everything there.
I appreciate the business savvy. Just always plug yourself in.
Yeah, for sure.
Market. Yeah. Well, good to have you here. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us. And today our discussion is on music and whether it has a negative influence on the youth. So we want to start by looking at someone that we spoke about before we started, Mr. Vybz Kartel.
Right.
And if you look at someone who has influence, I don't think there's anyone who can really match him in terms of influence on people. Like, he is pretty much, I think if he could run for prime minister, he might just win it.
Yeah.
He's that popular. Right now he is actually in prison, serving a life sentence of accusation of murder. So there's a lot of free cartel signs that come up. So based on your experiences in cartel and dancehall, like, what do you think? Do you think these artists really have the power to influence youth?
Definitely. Some people are easily influenced. I do believe that, but I believe that people still have the power to choose how they're influenced. It depends on your upbringing. I think it depends on the type of person you are as well and how you absorb, because a lot of people are ready to say, oh, this makes somebody do bad. But why don't good things make people do good? Mm-hmm. Why isn't it just easy to choose good or bad? So when it's the bad stuff, everybody's ready to say, oh, that is what made this person do that. Mm-hmm. But you still have a choice. And in some instances, I do believe that people choose the bad route because it's more fun, or their friends are doing it, or what's not. Because they're given options. They're given
options. But respectfully, when someone has, music that are, of a violent nature.
Right.
Right.
It is a cause to believe that may lead to some violent thoughts. So what are your thoughts on this, Russell?
I agree that, everyone has a level of emotional intelligence where we can make our own decisions, as DJ Diamond said. We can make our own decisions. We, can make some kind of understanding of what's right and wrong. But I do believe that music does have an influence. I think that artists do have an influence as well too. The way we live, because we are role models for any person who's following us or listening to us. And I feel as though when you look at persons who have done certain things, when you check their music history, when you check what they've been feeding themselves with, sometimes it all depends on what's in their playlist. So I think that music does have that much of an influence. And I've heard it said that music can bypass your conscious and go into your subconscious and lodge there. And basically that means that it will affect you, and you will not even realize how much it affects you. Mm-hmm. Like when someone is depressed, they will naturally gravitate towards depressing music,
right.
Yeah, I have had a lot of time listening to Coldplay.
Yeah.
sitting at home, just like with the weeping sounds.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is that you did speak about Vybz Kartel. Mm-hmm. And Vybz Kartel have good music as well.
Right.
I mean,
some positive songs.
He does.
Pull up your pants.
And he have some nice other type of music as well.
But what is he known for? That's the thing.
But you see, the thing about it is that, that's what we do as human beings. Mm-hmm. We choose then, okay, yes, I understand what he's known for, but if you're going to analyze a person, you give them a chance right through. You can't say, all right, cool. So he makes gun tunes, da-da-da-da-da, or he's trying to tell the youth to do something well, but no, let me just put that in the back and let me just deal with the fact. No, at the end of the day, sometimes that's why two people revert back to the bad. well, when it comes to the whole music career and the whole thing. Because if then you try to go another route, you try to do something positive, you always realize that people, you would find the bad things get more push. And I'm not making it right. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it gets more shares, more this, more that. When they try to do something good, before people try to say, well, you know, at least this person is trying to go in this direction, they focus on the negative, where then the person be like, you know what, I gotta eat, I gotta do whatever, let me just do it, my thing. But he does try to do.
So you feel like he's being sort of unfairly profiled for some of the things that he had said in the past?
Not unfairly profiled. I mean, come on, we're not trying to say this man. No, like he's taking what's like he's no saint. He's not trying to be a saint. I'm not defending him or anything, because we're talking about the music and the messages and the way that, you know, the messages are received. But if he sends out a good message, we need to also receive that message and state, well, this is a good message too. Yes, he's doing more bad than good, but this was done as well. You can't just dismiss, you know, the good. And back to the fact that I think that people choose most of the time what they want to absorb. And the music is influential as well, but people, the upbringing too with the kids is something that people really need to look at. Stop pointing fingers.
It starts at home as well, and
it really does. Okay. It really does, because we come up in the generation all kind of things too. But
so Russell, do you listen to a lot of vibes?
No.
No.
I mean, I have to be honest, no, I don't. And I'm not just saying, okay, I only listen to Christian artists. But I'm saying I listen to music, but it's music that either has to be inspirational or going to build me, or musically it sounds good. It's not going to convey some kind of message about guns and killing and sex, and you know. And like you hear songs on the radio, I'm like, did somebody actually sit down and purposefully write this? Like
I have that feeling too when I'm a DJ. Like,
right?
It's hard for me because why have to play?
Right. Yeah, it's
misogynistic.
It's, you know,
I said, oh my God.
You know, like it degrades. Do you hear music that degrades women? I'm like, women actually will, you know, twerk to this, you know, and they all they're doing is just encouraging rape culture. I heard somebody talking about rape culture and how that is really advanced in the Caribbean, and while everybody's starting this Me Too movement and other things in other parts of the world, we really do, you know, encourage this rape culture. And I said a lot of it has to do with music.
A lot of it is very much like suggestive and almost encouraging.
That, almost encouraging how you're going to beat up this and
all
this.
But I don't want to get into this in detail because I'm going to say saying encouraging rape culture is a serious statement. Let me tell you why. Let me say why. Because we all know, just because a woman wear a short skirt, it does not give anybody the right.
So I'm not talking about the clothes.
But I use that as an example. But so because just because somebody say because you watch a video of the woman twerking, it does not mean you. Well, that mean that she telling me to come. If you get me, so I don't believe that it should be. For the weak-minded, maybe. For people who may be going through whatever they're going through.
About like those
I can't
videos.
Say that. Yeah.
I'm not talking about those videos, but what I'm trying to say is that artists have to be careful what they write and how they write.
Yeah, I think what also means like those kind of lyrics tend to normalize that behavior. It makes what people do okay, and that is not okay. Like I honestly feel as though artists have to be really careful with what they write and how they write, because sometimes you're either encouraging something that shouldn't be encouraged.
Right. And I agree with you, but you know, it's not going to just stop, and it's not. We have to be responsible for our own actions, because I can't stop somebody from writing. I mean, and I say this from the standpoint of being a DJ, a person who has to sometimes choose. I ain't gonna play certain songs. I don't play certain things because I choose not to. I have to play certain things that, you know, I might not be too, but I do it. I play them just for the people. But at the end of the day, when I go home, I don't have multiple partners. I don't do this. I don't do a lot of things. So a lot of things in these songs, I take it as a song. I know everybody's not the same, but I genuinely believe we need to focus on trying to make ourselves better and trying to do what we can do for the better. And I say that meaning, yes, songs will say certain things, but we have to teach our children. We come up in the days of old dub, and old dub was raw. Right? And I didn't choose to go the road of old dub just because I heard it being how it was.
I want to get back to that in a moment, but I want to ask Russell, based on something that Diamond said, where it depends also on the parents and the people who listen to the music. Like, what do you think about that? Do you think like parents maybe not being as active enough in what their kids listen to and helping them disseminate?
I agree that parents haven't been active enough in their children's lives on a lot of things, not just music, but a lot of things in terms of what they listen to, what they watch, you know, who they hang out with. Because so many times you hear parents say, "Oh, well, I didn't know that can't be my child,"
Yeah.
you know, or "I didn't know my child was doing this," and I'm like, "Hello, have you not been asking them questions?" I mean, I listened to several different artists growing up, but my dad always asked me, "So who's this person?" And and I mean, I had no problem telling him because I knew that I would be okay listening to this music around him. But I feel as though parents need to be able to engage in conversation with their children a lot more. Because music in and of itself is not bad.
Yeah, it has a lot of positives
right.
as well. Yes.
It has a lot of positives. It's how it is used, And I think that is where now the influencers, parents, teachers, artists, DJs, music hosts, all the events, the old adage says that it takes a village to raise a child. We all help to raise this next generation. So it's all dependent on how we use it.
For sure. And there have been moments where, the music is the influencer that a child sometimes only has
I agree.
in their life.
Yeah.
And that can mean something. Right. All right, so we'll be moving on to our next part. And before we head on to Miss Lady Saw, we're having a conversation regarding her. And thank you. Welcome back, true believers, back to Y2Y 246. So, we are live on Facebook. So, if you're live, send us your questions. Don't be afraid. We don't bite. We just look passionate, but we're very docile here. Hold up. There's too much going on here. So yeah, send us your questions. We do have a question from Miss Faith Chupwalker, who is now listening live. And her question is to DJ Diamond. Don't you think that some of the songs that are decent lack the vibe and hype that the gun, sex, violence theme songs do? Beats not as sweet or flow not as good?
I would not say that. I think that the problem is that the bad may be more than the good. That's it. But they got some good songs there that kicking. Like I was saying that I find that reggae is dying. And I mean like reggae, like the old time reggae that was really nice, love music. You didn't have to edit it, anything like that. You didn't have to edit the music. You didn't have to edit the lyrics. It was just good vibes. There's also other artists who make music that's good vibes. Like the vibes are good. We just need to play the music, and also the audience need to receive the music. Like stop just wanting this bad, and that's what's happening. So even as people who want to do better, a DJ wants to do better, you want to go out there and you want to play better music. But then when you go now and you play even the good vibes or whatever and people don't respond, you don't get the bookings again. And it's not saying you're selling yourself, but it is what it is and everybody want to make it. So I just believe that people need to open up their self a little bit more to the fact that it's good vibes, that it doesn't have to be slack and raw for it to be good.
Yeah, fair enough. And so, what do you think about that, Russell?
I think I agree with her in terms of we have to be able to have the power to choose and understand that we got to be open to accepting good because I feel like we've been so trained and conditioned to, the bad music is what kicking, is that, like if it ain't got something about, sex or guns or if it doesn't have something slack, then, no, this song is hot, and so we've trained and conditioned our ears and our mind to certain things.
Yeah. And I have fallen into that kind of thinking before until, I did hear Mr. Kurt Franklin. He's banging. He does some good stuff. Yeah. So again, like we are live, send us your questions, don't be afraid. Let us know what you would like, any questions you would have for our panelists, and just regarding our music, our topic as, does music have a negative influence on the youth or nah? You just check that out. So I want to touch on another thing. We did mention the fact that some of these songs, they do encourage the rape culture in a sense. Do you find that there is a platform for like a more positive style of music, and how do we get to that?
I'll let you go first. You're a DJ.
Of course, there's a platform for it. But I just think that, as I said, you need to pump a little bit more of the good into society. We need to just be encouraged to do a little bit more of that, even if it's You know, if it's a DJ, you know, and if people try to do it, people play all of the songs, but when the pressure is on for the hype, that to me, that's not the environment to try to make change. It's not a fact at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, people think so, but it isn't. To be quite honest, I can be real with you.
Fair enough.
We have to do it other ways. We have to reach them other ways. I realize that some schools do this whole thing where, you know, artists go to the schools and all that. They gotta decide who going, who they're carrying, why they're taking them, like what message that they're delivering, and then it's the same artist, I guess, that does both. So nothing's wrong with that, but you gotta still be careful with it, because when the children see them, they may see nothing but what them know, what them want to see, and if you don't bring it, it's be like, oh, okay, I hear you, but hey, you can sing that song? It's like, no.
Yeah,
So
it's like what y'all were saying earlier, where Vice Cartel, he has this inspirational music. But what do people see him for? Like, if Vice Cartel was here and he went to school, they're not gonna want him to sing, you know, pull up your pants.
No, they will want him to sing that because it's hype. It's good, but they will want to hear the
so then they're gonna want to hear the other stuff, and so it all has to do with artist branding. But what I will say is, yes, there is space for positive music, but artists who are writing positive music have to be intentional about writing, being creative, because just as the person acts, you know, she finds that the bad music sounds better, or sounds more creative than the good music. I feel like there's a lot of good music out there, but it's just marketed poorly, or sometimes probably not written as well, or the beats, or, you know, it's not as infectious.
But sometimes it's infectious, but you want to hear the honest to God truth. What is infectious about the bad things is what you cannot put in the good things, no matter how much you try to do it. If the bad things has in the bad elements that you have to take out of the good music. You can, yes, you could have a good, you could put it on the same rhythm, the same everything, and the words ain't saying certain things. Then, oh, okay, well, when the other thing come on, it's hype. Although it's the same rhythm, so it comes down to.
So speaking of that, Lady Saw. Lady Saw is someone who, you know, used to make the slap music per se, and it's very graphic. Descriptive stuff, very descriptive. Yeah. She was a poet in a way, the way she spoke about things. But now she's turned her page and now she's doing more gospel music. So like, I'm not very familiar with her gospel. I don't know if any of you guys are.
It's a lot different.
It's a lot different.
It's a lot. So it's not necessarily to say that her gospel music now is hype, but a different message is a lot different. Like, her story is different to like Stitchie did. I don't know if you all know who Stitchie is, but like before he became a Christian, he had all the secular music and it was hype too. And then he converted to Christianity and he did a lot of gospel music, but it was also hype and people loved it. People loved the energy. Lady Saw is a little different. Her life was radically changed in a sense. She came to, she had a come to Jesus moment because a friend of her died. Friend of hers died, and so then her music changed completely. The way she is, the way she sings, all of that changed completely. So that is a different story in terms of, like, you know, whether positive music can still be hype or not. So.
And also, you know, you are a pastor, and in your church, you did mention that now there's like more contemporary style music being played in the church. Like, you find that sort of young people don't turn to the church because they're not aware of that?
Yes, I think that they don't come to church because they're not aware of that. Because I have friends, I have family members who grew up Anglican, and they're still in Anglican church, and they would say, well, we only sing these hymns, and this is it. My church is Pentecostal, so yes, we do sing hymns, but we also sing all the other contemporary Christian music, and we do soca and reggae and all these other stuff in church, but it just has a Christian backdrop to it, or Christian lyrics. So I just think that, you know, for persons who might label church and say, oh, they only do hymns, only boring stuff. Not really.
So you would do like you know, lead your congregation in a song of, you know, Father Elephant, the Elephant Man.
Not really.
You know, not really. Just like, if everything of the lyrics, we just go by like.
I mean, we've done, you know, Father Abraham have many sons, that, but that's us, the same beat, and like literally Elephant Man.
But is it the Scooby-Doo
rhythm
though?
But Elephant Man took that from the church. You know, it was like a church started from Elephant Man. Elephant Man took that from the church, basically. You know,
I can always bring it back. I mean, if you can guarantee that that will happen at your church, I will definitely be there.
Well, we probably do some things that are even better than that.
But see, but that's another thing too. I understand trying to lure them into the church
But
or certain
then it
things, but you
shouldn't be like
can't.
that.
You shouldn't have to be dangling candy
No,
in front of a kid
thank you.
to lead them. Don't like you can't. To me, you're still being manipulative, and the
Right.
church should not be manipulative.
I agree.
It's like I
Is it a matter-
understand wanting them to enjoy themselves and all that, but you can't say, you know what? Let me take a song, a voice cartel song. But what we can do is don't do lyrics, but we can because so that then the young people will come and no,
That-
because
and
they're
that's
still
not
not
my
going to learn
vibe either.
anything. You
Yeah,
know what? They have
definitely.
to. You have to find a way to genuinely reach
Reach
out to
them,
people.
yeah.
I want people to want to come, not
Right,
by
yeah.
leading them,
Not with any manipulation,
Yeah, not with
yeah.
manipulation.
Is it
That's
so
what-
much
that's what it is.
manipulation, but rather kind of like speaking to your audience in a sense?
It's manipulation.
Is-
No, I'm being honest. It's manipulation because after then, when that element is gone, then what?
Right.
Like it has to be
There's
more
nothing
than that.
that will keep them.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but you gotta be real careful with it. Like there's a thin line, and the line even thin. It's just manipulation. Like, you just want to
would-
come there to be hyped, but
what
then,
would be your approach to
Like,
get more people to come in?
like for example, for me, I would reach young people through love, through a connection, through the kind of relationship, and let them know, hey, well, you don't come and visit my church, we're talking about this particular topic or thing, just come try it Sunday. Then they come and they realize, wait, what they say, not singing, old hymns that I grew up on
Right.
with my grandmother. They actually singing music that is cool, pretty
Right.
cool. So then they come and find out what we have to offer. But I'm not gonna go to a young person and be like, oh yeah, we sing, like sounding like some creep. Yeah, come in my van, I got candy.
Yeah.
No, that is definitely not our approach at all.
And I think a good approach as well is people need to don't try to get them to come into the church. Bring the church to them.
Which
So
our churches started doing.
So
'cause
what
we
they
have
do,
something called-
put them in their own environment with
Right.
their environment, meaning with their own peers, with maybe
Right.
people like them,
Right.
where you don't feel awkward coming or what to wear or whatever, you come with
Right.
whatever, and you have a segment, you bring him into their environment, you do, or him and some of the others, then you do the whole.
Right.
Show them what we
yeah.
do, and then they'll be like, okay, cool, I want to come and see what it's about.
Right,
So
yeah.
not forcing them to come in, but
And that's something that we do because our church, we do schools outreach, and then we also do like what we call church in the community, where we go into the community and just have basically what we would do there, and so that they can see what we do,
Yeah.
So,
And also knowing that it's a process. I
Right,
think that
right.
people always want people to quit this kind of thing cold turkey. If you get me.
You're right, yeah, no,
Like,
agreed.
It's like smoking, drinking, like it takes time to convert. So you
Very
can't
good.
expect, okay, you come church, so you believe that I see them still doing, but with what you expect, it will take time.
Yeah.
And you need to be patient with them, in my opinion.
agree.
Okay, fair enough. And so we have another question here, and this is from Dana Linton. Hello, Dana. How are you doing? And she said, I think the skill of innuendo is dying. She says, I find music now is all about the raw, explicit lyrics, when there's still ways to express explicit ideas in radio-friendly language. So, thoughts on that?
I agree. I think that it has definitely gone to another level, and I say this as a DJ. People go too, I'm not going to say too far, because I think that everything has its own place, as it always did. It had, and I go back older, which was like this concentrated thing that, you play at certain places and things. But now it feels if you turn on the radio, you hear this music, it's like there's no special place for anything anymore.
Yeah,
Everything
just-
is anything is anything.
And it's just raw.
And it's raw.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just too raw. Sometimes when it's a little more, I saw what you did there. It's a little more like,
Right.
but no.
Yeah.
Everybody
I do-
just out there and
I do find
trying
myself, like,
things.
sometimes when I'm listening to music, my mouth is just wide open, like, they just said that. Whoa.
They just
so
said
what
that.
are your thoughts on that, Russell?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of it is just too raw. And like, you basically stealing the innocence of children. Like, there's some things that children should left to find out when they get older. But you are playing these songs and 4 and 5-year-olds are listening to that. And I'm like, good God, like, where is their innocence? Where are they allowed to, like back in the day, there was this such a thing as cooties, when you were in primary school, cooties. No, these children have there's no, boundaries, no limits to, and I'm like, a lot of it has to do with what we're listening to, and I honestly think it's too raw. Yeah.
And the guidance, like,
Right.
where's the guidance?
Yeah.
I mean,
I want to touch on something else, because we were speaking about the church, getting back to that. Because there are a lot of young people who say they don't turn to the church because they feel like there's a certain hypocrisy that comes from the adults who go there. You know, they speak about all this wholesome music, they go to church on Sunday, but then you see those same people in Kadooment Day just getting on bad, dancing to the same soca that, you know, they were demonized earlier. So,
Right.
what are your thoughts on that? Do you feel like that is a fair statement to make in terms of, you know, how people behave and church people behave on the street?
I will not blank. Yes, there may be people who are like that, but I don't agree with blanket to make one blanket statement over the church. Just like how I would not agree to make one blanket statement over all DJs or one blanket statement over everybody that works in government. You know, that's not a fair assessment. Yes, there are people like that, and I do agree there are who may claim to be holier than thou and then, you know, living however they want. Yes, I do agree that may happen. However, it's not fair to make one blanket statement across the board about everybody. So,
Sure.
What are your thoughts on that, DJ?
I agree with him. I also think that, you know, you can't just say, oh, but this person tell me this, so then them, oh. But suppose, no, that person is also in their transitional period or phase, and maybe they might do that, but the other 5 people behind them may not do it. So that goes back again to making the choice to choose the fact that if 5 people tell you good and they're doing good, you choose the one person that may just be out there too. Like, why you choose that person? You have 5 other people to model yourself after. But I just want to say that I think that it comes down to how we send our children out into the world. The world will be the world, but how a person then receives things is up to what you root in them.
I agree.
You don't have to be a Christian or rather to have good morals and values. I am not saying I am perfect. You know, here, people say, well, DJ, they might pick up and you think you just walk about all that, but I can tell you, I respect myself. You understand? I believe in respect. You have to teach children how to respect themselves and understand the difference and know how far to take things. And I think that's what's missing. You know, I know some 16-year-olds, and if I look on their WhatsApp thing and they see them putting some quotes, I be like, what the hell was it? Like, I would let my mother hear me saying things at 18. And kids now are exposed to every and anything. At 5, people think it's so cute that the children singing all these things. It's so cute, and I be disgusted by it. And I'm a DJ, and I just got to play certain things. I'm disgusted by it. Nothing is for adults only anymore.
And that is the
and it's adults meaning like some things in for the adults either, but even the kids indulging.
So thank you very much for that. Very well said. And I must say, there's a different world sometimes that kids and that youth live in with the headphones that they have on. Like, you may think it's a kid, but, you know, in those headphones is a very different world, very different things being said there. So you got to mind what is being disseminated there. So before we wrap up, you know, any final statements you guys would like to make?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, basically, I just want to say, you know, we spoke about the influence of music and how it can influence people, whether it's good or bad. And I really believe that in order for our kids to be equipped and ready for this world, parents need to pay more attention. You know, YouTube is a wormhole. When you put your kids on YouTube, and even if you put in Spider-Man or Dora, Dora could be anything. Spider-Man could be any. Trust me, it starts so good, but as the kids keep going down the wormhole and you're there on your phone or doing whatever, it gets really bad, and we need to pay more attention. People in these times, people need to, I know that you can't control everything, but you need to try to teach your children how to make better decisions, teach them how to respect themselves, not just girl children, but boy children too. Because remember, if a boy respects the girl and she comes wrong disrespectful, then he will be able to control the situation as well. So it can't just be girls respect themselves. If guys respect themselves and a girl gone a short skirt or twerking or whatever, it's not going to make him feel like, oh, I want kidnap her and carry her and do something. We need to do something about the way that we condition children's minds from in here, not just from here, from the womb. When they come out, certain ages, don't wait till it's too late. And I think that that's a message that really needs to be sent, because people blaming everything, and I agree it has an influence, but when you look, parents not doing all that they could do.
Okay.
Thank you, DJ. Russell, any last comments?
I will say that, you know, music is influential, but we then now have to choose how we allow this music to influence us and the people around us. And this is where now a level of emotional intelligence is going to be important, where you can, make that decision for yourself, what you will listen to and what you won't listen to. And I feel as though once we continue to place a demand on positive music, once we continue to say, you know what, we choose to listen to this stuff and we won't listen to other stuff, then that is a kind of demand that we're going to put on artists to release stuff that is positive. That's the kind of demand that we will put on other persons who are, playing music, to release only certain stuff that we choose to listen to. And I think that once we continue to have that level of the understanding of what's right and what's wrong, then we will know how to make music influential to us all. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for both of you for being here, taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. Thank you to everyone who listened live. Thank you to our production team, our floor managers, our set designers, our makeup artists. Thank you, everybody, for making this first episode so very special. This is Y2Y 246, and we have a lot more to show you. This is the first of a series and a very good relationship that we hope to form with you guys. On our next episode, 52 years of independence, but HIV is here to stay. Are the shackles really off? That will be moderated by a very dear friend of mine, Christopher Drayton. We hope that you tune in for that one. But we'll be looking at HIV/AIDS among the youth and whether it is really a statistic that is going down or if we're still very much at risk. Thank you very much. This is Y2Y 246 for the youth, by the youth. And we hope you have a blessed weekend.